British Prime Minister is weighing up her chances of trying to push through her Brexit deal through Parliament at a third attempt. Theresa May's deal was resoundingly defeated again last week, albeit by a smaller majority than last time. But a third defeat would almost certainly mean a long delay to Brexit. Well, let's go straight to Westminster and to Tig Enright, who's standing by for us this morning. Tig, let's look ahead at the week ahead. What are Theresa May's options left on the table at this stage?
Belle, good morning to you. Theresa May does not want to lose another vote on her withdrawal agreement. So the strategy is that they'll wait until they're confident that they have the votes before scheduling another vote to take place here in the House of Commons. There have been talks underway with some of the opponents to her deal within her own party, and some of which have borne fruit. Many former opponents have come out and said that they will back the deal when it goes to a third vote. But the most important discussions have been happening with the DUP. That's the Irish Unionist Party, in which Theresa May's government relies for its majority. Although it has only 10 MPs, many of Theresa May's Conservative rebels have said that if the Irish backstop, if they can get on board with that, well, then those Conservative rebels will get on board with it too. Theresa May was saving her voice. She was quite croaky last week. This is how her Finance Minister, Philip Hammond, summarised the strategy.
Bring the deal back if we are confident that enough of our colleagues and the DUP are prepared to support it so that we can get it through Parliament. I mean, we're not just going to keep presenting it if we haven't moved the dial. But what's happened since last Tuesday is that a significant number of colleagues, including some very prominent ones who've gone public, have changed their view on this and have decided that the alternatives are so unpalatable to them that they, on reflection, think that the Prime Minister's deal is the best way to deliver Brexit.
Philip Hammond there saying a significant number of opponents have come on board, but will it be significant enough? There's a very big mountain to climb. The vote went against Theresa May by a margin of 149 last week. That means she has to get 75 on board to get her deal over the line. And this time around, she can really ratchet up the pressure, saying that it's her deal or perhaps a softer deal. Brexiteers now are digesting the reality that this could be the hardest form of Brexit they can get. MPs here voted to rule out no deal last week, so perhaps they'll be waiting for the choice they're facing is this deal, a softer Brexit, or perhaps, as Theresa May would say, no Brexit at all.
And meanwhile, for Theresa May, it's not just her deal that hangs in the balance, but also her leadership. How close do you think we are to seeing a vote of no confidence in Theresa May?
Well, from within her own party, some backbenchers tabled a motion of no confidence in her last December, and actually she came through that. And that means that actually she's guaranteed immunity from a formal process until December of this year. Now, that doesn't mean that there aren't other ways of taking her down within her own party. And from the opposition Labour benches, well, they have said that if the deal goes to a vote again and does not win, well, the leader, Jeremy Corbyn, said this is the fate which would await her.
The government is apparently going to bring its proposals once again to Parliament this week. I suspect they'll be defeated again. The whole process they're doing is running down the clock. I think at that point a confidence motion would be appropriate. I think at that point we should say there has to be a general election so the people of this country can decide.
But a bit like Theresa May, the numbers don't favour Jeremy Corbyn. He obviously does not have a majority in Parliament, and even though there are many opponents to Theresa May's deal, the last time he called a motion of no confidence on her, well, they fell in behind her again when it came to a choice between a government led by her or potentially a government led by Jeremy Corbyn. So he would need to win over some Conservatives to his side of the argument. It seems unlikely, although at the same time it has certainly been talked about, and there's a rump of hardcore opponents to Theresa May within her party who some think could conspire with Jeremy Corbyn if it meant bringing her leadership to an end. But this week could go in many different ways. I think given the fact that Jeremy Corbyn is the farthest left leader that Labour has had in a generation, it would be a difficult bridge for those Conservative rebels to cross.